Action News, I'm Anna Dulosky. Imagine this. It's 9 o'clock at night on a Wednesday before Thanksgiving, and you've just had oral surgery and you are out of painkillers when all of a sudden you feel excruciating pain. Now, normally you'd call your doctor and have him call the pharmacy to get you a refill, but now you would be denied because a new law going into effect today makes it impossible for doctors to call in a pharmacy and give you a refill for any drugs containing hydrocodone. This brought to you by the U.S. Drug Enforcement Administration. The plan is to fight dangerous painkiller addictions in the U.S. by bumping up hydrocodone painkillers from Schedule 3 to Schedule 2 category, the most restrictive category for approved drugs, joining OxyContin, Percocet, and codeine. But sadly, the misguided effort is only putting the burden on real patients with real pain. ACTIA's Dr. Josh Bloom, who's written on the topic many times, including a New York Post op-ed, says bad laws always have bad consequences, and in this case, the remedy will be far worse than the problem.
About a year ago, some genius or a bunch of geniuses at the DEA thought it might be a good idea to toughen up on Vicodin as a way of discouraging drug abuse. And what they did was proposed moving it from Schedule 3 to Schedule 2, which is much more restricted. For example, Schedule 3, a doctor can write a prescription with refills, and he can call it into the pharmacy. This is no longer possible. You would have to physically get the prescription from the doctor and bring it over to the store and fill it. You're punishing patients with legitimate needs to try and control drug abuse, which won't work anyhow. The best possible example of this was with a drug called OxyContin, which was invented years ago by Purdue Pharma. And the idea was to put a large amount of oxycodone into a time-release pill, so you wouldn't have to keep taking pills all day. If you could take one, and it would cover you for all or most of a day. The problem was that an OxyContin pill contained between 8 and 16 times the dose of a normal Percocet or oxycodone. So addicts found a way to grind it up to get the entire 40 or 80 milligrams and smoke it. And of course, then you've got an opiate problem. So after many years, Purdue finally came up with a way to prevent this. They used a formulation that turned the pill into a gummy mess when you tried to grind it up, and it was essentially unusable. So the result was a doubling of the use of heroin as reported in drug centers across the United States. So the lesson here is addicts are going to get their drugs one way or the other. By making laws that make it difficult for patients in need to get legitimate painkillers in emergency times is going to accomplish little or nothing except make life miserable for people that actually need pain relief in an acute situation.
To read more on this story, you can head to our website, action.org, and while you're there, don't forget to also sign up for your daily dose of news delivered right to your inbox. For Action News, I'm Anna Dulosky.